Hello, friends. It's Kate, and tonight we are doing unwind yoga. We're going to do it a little bit different tonight. We're still going to unwind and relax, don't worry. But we're going to target a specific body part to help it relax a little bit more. I was at an event, and somebody was saying they have uncomfortably tight hips when they're trying to meditate. So that's kind of what inspired this. So we're going to soften the hips. How about that? Fabulous, right? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do movement and then we're going to hold a pose, kind of like a yang and a yin. So let's start with moving the hips. So I have a balance pole. If you don't have one, probably don't, that's fine. A chair works or holding onto the wall. So the first thing we're going to do, and we're going to go slow and we're going to go gentle. So the first thing we're going to do is lift up one knee, and then we're going to go out and down and around. So just nice and slow. And if you want, you can actually use that hand to support that leg because we're not trying to get the heart rate up. We're just trying to move this hip joint, get some motion in there. All right, so that was about 6. And then we're going to go the reverse direction. Go down and out and in. Very nice. And one more, nice and slow. All right, and then we're going to switch sides. So one side might be easier than the other, and that's always okay. If you need more balance on one side, you can do that too. We're going to go up and over and down. And 2 more on this side. And then let's reverse direction. We're going to go out and around, forward, down. And one more. Nice and slow. Beautiful. All right, if you want, you can kind of shake the legs out a little bit. And then we're going to come into our pose that we're going to hold. So we're going to do a little ragdoll. And what I'm thinking about this is if you have tight hamstrings or you're tight in the lower back, this is maybe a nice way to kind of relax those areas. So we're just going to hinge at the hips, fold forward, and you can cross the elbows, drop the head, chin comes towards the chest. And we're just going to hold this for a little bit. So depending on how tight the back of the thighs are, you can bend the knees more. And if that's uncomfortable to hold the elbows, you can just let the arms hang. So we're just taking smooth, gentle breaths. And if any of this is uncomfortable, you can always come out. So let's take 2 or 3 more breaths here. Beautiful. All right, so bend the knees nice and deep. Bring the arms out to the side. Push in with the feet, and then bring the arms all the way up. And then hands to heart. Awesome. All right. So next, we're going to come down to, actually, we're not. I'm going to change the order here. All right, so we're going to do a half moon salutation. So what we're going to get with this is opening up. We're kind of going to do a little bit of a back bend at the end here. So feet are nice and wide. We're going to imagine that we have this little ball of light here. And I'm actually going to adjust the camera a little bit because I'm going to bring it up a little bit higher. All right. So we're going to bring this ball of light. Oh, I have one right there. How about that? And then we're going to exhale and bring it over to one side. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, first side. Inhale, center. Exhale, second side. Inhale, center. And then one more time each side. We're going to go over to the left and drop the arm down, left side. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, other side. We'll bring it back up to the top. And then we're going to do a little bit of a back bend here. So we're going to exhale, bring the light back. Inhale, bring it up. And let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. And one last time. Exhale. And inhale, beautiful. Exhale, release your light. Arms come down by your side. Now we're going to come down to hands and knees. And we're going to start in a neutral tabletop. So we're going to do cat, cow, child's. So we're going to do cat and cow a couple times, and then we're going to rest in our child's pose. All right, starting with an exhale, come into cat. Inhale to cow. So we don't want to dump the belly towards the floor. We want to keep that lower abdomen engaged. Exhale, cat. Pull the belly button up towards the spine. Inhale, cow. So we've got that tilt of the hips. That's what we're looking for in these 2 poses. We're going to tilt it this way, and then we're going to tilt it this way. All right, so nice and slow, moving with the breath. Excellent. And then we're going to come in and come into our child's pose. So a couple of options. If you have pillows or a blanket, you can rest on that or come down to the floor. But since we're doing our unwind yoga, I'm going to do a big fluffy pile here. And we'll be here for a few moments. So get nice and comfortable. Knees are wide. And you can rest one side of the head or the forehead, whatever is more comfortable for you. And see about slowing the breath down. So you want to inhale smooth and subtle. And exhale subtle and long. You can switch sides of the face. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back out. And we're going to do, we're going to come down onto the floor, onto our backs. So we want a couple of props, perhaps a blanket, a bolster, or a block, depending on how flexible the back. Let me grab the block so you can see. All right, so let's start. We're going to start with the movement part. All right, so coming down onto the flat of the back. And our movement part looks like this. All right, so we're going to exhale the knees in. Inhale, arms come up overhead, feet up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to knees, bend the knees. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. So moving nice and slow. And let's do just one more. And then we're going to come into our rest pose. So 3 options, well, 4. So option A is just flat on your back, kind of like Shavasana. Option B is taking a blanket, maybe a little better folded than that, and we're going to bring it under the pelvis. So I'm not doing this one, so I'm not going to try and fix it. All right, so that's an option, and then the legs are out straight. The next option would be a block. So you slide that under, and the top of the block is up at the top of the back of the pelvis there. And then again, stretch the legs out. So what we're trying to do is extend the hips beyond their normal range here. So usually the hips are in flexion all the time, so bent this way towards the torso. So we want to go the other way, so we're extending them. And then the third option, or wait, 4, would be, I'm just going to stick with the block, is the bolster. So not everybody has a bolster, but you could use like couch cushion or a pile of pillows. So any of those options, something that's not too hard, that's going to compress anything or be uncomfortable. So we're getting the front of the body open beyond what we usually have when we're sitting all day, or even standing. If we're standing, we're in neutral, so we want extension. So we'll just take a couple of breaths here, and at any point, if it gets uncomfortable, you can come out or maybe adjust it a little bit. And just breathe into this. We're in the rest portion, so we're relaxed. So let's take 3 more long, smooth, subtle breaths. And then when you're ready to come out, we're going to bring the feet into the mat, push the feet into the floor, slide the block out of the way, or whatever else you're using. And then let's bring the knees into the chest. A couple of times just to come back to symmetrical here and dynamic. And then we're going to do a couple of bridge poses. And then we'll do our last pose. All right. So for our bridge pose, we're going to bring the heels in close up towards the torso. You're going to inhale, arms up overhead, hips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Let's do that a couple of times. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, going down. Very nice. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. All right. Next, we're going to do our last pose before our final relaxation pose. So we're going to do legs up the wall. So I'm actually going to do the legs up the wall. Usually I just do it in the air, but I'm going to do it with a blanket under the pelvis. So you're welcome to do that, or roll up a mat and put that under. Whatever you deem to make it more comfortable is my recommendation. So I'm going to scooch over towards the wall here. Okay. So legs are up the wall. Pelvis is supported underneath. I have the hiccups. So resting the legs up the wall. Legs can be wide. And start with a comfortable breath. And see if maybe you can extend the exhale just a little bit longer, maybe 1 or 2 seconds. And just let go of the day. Let the earth hold you. Let's take 3 to 6 nice, smooth, long breaths here. Letting go of that last breath, we're going to bring the legs down off the wall. And come back to the mat if your mat's still on it. And our last movement is going to be our Apanasana. I'm actually going to turn the lights down. And if you want to, where you are, you can too. So we're going to exhale, knees in, inhale, knees out. So just a couple of times, we're not trying to bring up the heart rate. We're just undoing any movement. So our little counter pose here. And then after you finish a few of those, we're going to extend the legs all the way straight out. And because it's our relaxation pose, we're going to let the legs and the feet fall away from each other. We're going to let the arms come out away from the sides, palms up or palms down, whatever feels good in the shoulders. Maybe lift up and tuck the shoulder blades closer towards each other. And then anything else that you need to do to get any last little wiggles out. And just let everything from the day unwind, roll off. Let the earth hold you so you don't have to hold on to even the earth. Letting go of the breath. You don't even have to work to breathe, it will come naturally. And just take these next few moments just for yourself. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. Just relaxing, resting, and unwinding. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. You can use your lower arm as a little headrest. And just maybe take a couple breaths before you come up to seated. When you're ready, pushing up to a comfortable seated position. And thank you for joining me. Namaste. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.